Hey, good Wednesday morning, my friends. MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa here with the MLive Morning Weather Update brought to you by Consumers Energy. And, we've really lost touch of reality in weather because we're going to cool down into the 50s to near 60, and that's going to be about 10 to 15 degrees warmer than normal. So eventually we're going to drop to normal, and it's going to feel like such an abrupt shift that you're going to think it's crazy cold, but it really won't be. So the theme continues to be warmer than normal, and we've had a great rain in a lot of places of Michigan. I'll be writing about that on MLive here shortly, tallying up the rainfall total. So check for that at mlive.com/weather. And now we're going to see the storm system spaced apart about every 5 to 7 days with some moisture, and that's going to help the very dry conditions. So let's get on into it and show you what's going on here. As far as precipitation today, pretty much almost done. You have to look really close, but in the Saginaw Valley area, up through Tawas and Standish and Gladwin and West Branch, you got some drizzle coming through. That's about it. So generally I would call this a dry day now, or at least drying out. I don't think we'll see a ton of sunshine. All right, now remember, I do not sugarcoat this for you folks. I don't turn this into a 5th grade weather presentation. I give you the guts of the meteorology, and we start with the guts with the steering mechanisms in the middle part of the atmosphere. And what you're going to be looking for is when the upper airflow is shaped like this, a big hump, what we call a ridge, it's usually warmer and drier than normal. And when you see one of these big U-shaped things, that's when the air is spinning, it's causing a storm system, making precipitation, and eventually colder. You're going to see one or two of those storms, but you're not going to see a big shift to a much colder air on the way. Oh, I got to say hi to some folks. Good morning, Roberto Acosta. He's a fellow MLiver. David Kernut. Good morning. Thanks for watching. Cynthia Doucette, good morning to you. And Darlene Gilmer, good morning. All right, so the model we like for long-term, European, it's a good model. We have good models in the U.S. too. We use those for various things. I use those with you. We go into Thursday, we go into Friday. Note that storm down in the Gulf of Mexico. That is Hurricane Rafael. Now we go to Friday and we go to Saturday. You start to see the ridging again. So we get into a warming trend as we head toward the weekend. And here's our storm. So this is the next rain, Sunday night into Monday. That's a pretty significant upper air disturbance. I'm going to keep an eye on thunderstorms with this one, because that one, in a time when there's instability like July or August, that one's a severe weather outbreak. But here it might just be showers and a few thunderstorms. But we have had severe weather in November. We get some goofy stuff now in weather. So now we're into Monday. We're into, that's Veterans Day. Looks like it could be dry. And then here comes ridging again. Still no big plunge of cold air. There's another storm system, November 14th. And we're getting closer. We're getting a lot closer to weather from winter inching into Michigan. That's November 16th. I got a feeling like in the last 2 weeks of November, at least the northern half of lower Michigan will have its first snowfall. And that's right about normal too, by the way. Roberto Costa says, got a good rain. Hey, let me try this name and say hello to Buffy Jane Crathwall. How did I do on that one? Good morning. And Barb Searmeyer, good morning. You're listening to the MLive Morning Weather Update brought to you by Consumers Energy. Okay, so dry today, dry tomorrow, dry Friday. There's your hurricane down in the Gulf of Mexico. probably heading toward Mexico and weakening. Here's our Sunday, some showers. There's a little cold front, just a glancing blow on Tuesday, and then back to the southerly winds, although you do see the cold air building to the north, and so it's poised to get to us at some point. We can't hold it off forever, good or bad. Good for the 50% of Michigan winter lovers, bad for the 50% of Michigan winter haters. So just a little closer look, Friday, Saturday. This is Sunday morning into early afternoon. So a lot can be done outside today, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You'll probably have a showery Sunday. And then it looks like on Veterans Day into the first couple of days of next week, we'll dry out once again and still be able to continue to work outside. Here are the temperatures. High is going to be near 70 in Detroit and Ann Arbor today, 60-ish in Flint and Saginaw, and upper 50s in Grand Rapids, and then even Traverse City. 50, that sounds cool, but it's still warmer than normal. Tomorrow, in the 50s. Saturday in the 50s. I'm sorry, Friday in the 50s. Saturday in the 50s. Sunday, warming back to the 60s for the southern half of the state. Monday into the upper 50s. Tuesday, that little backdoor cold front, highs in the upper 40s. You'll think, wow, this has gotten cold. And that's about normal. We're going to have one normal day out on the next 10. Then we start to come back into the 50s. And 10 days out, this model wants to say November 15th will be near 60 degrees in places with 30s to the north. Note that temperature contrast. That says winter is coming. It says the winter storm track is developing when you have 60 to the south, 30 to the north. And that's where Mother Nature's drink stir, as I like to call it, comes through. And that is storm systems. NOAA Messer is ready for cooler temperatures, but thankful for the rain. Yes, very nice rain. Good morning, Frank Milkey, and good morning, Barb Plex. Okay, low temperatures, not really anything too hard of a freeze. No freeze on Thursday or Friday. Saturday morning, maybe northern lower down through Alma and Mount Pleasant, frosty. No freeze on Sunday morning or Monday morning. Tuesday, maybe a freeze down into the center part of the state. Frost down to Ann Arbor and Detroit. So that might be your first frost in some places. November 12th, still no hard freeze. And 10 days out, we go back to warmer. That has been one of the odd things about weather here as the climate changes, and always has changed. Because we're a spinning sphere of water mostly on a tilted axis that wobbles, heated by a bonfire in the sky. So yes, the climate always changes, and it's probably realistically part man-made, part natural. We just don't know if it's 60-40 or 70-30, more natural than man-made or more man-made than natural. You know, that's kind of the debate. 6 to 10 day forecast, warmer than normal, wetter than normal. 8 to 14 day forecast out to November 19th, warmer than normal and wetter than normal. So we keep waiting on winter. We have, another week at least to get things done outside. We see winter starting to be poised to the north, and we know it will come down. It's just a question of last 2 weeks of November or first 2 weeks of December. And usually in the southern half of lower Michigan, it does take until we get into December. Not always. I wrote a post about this yesterday. November, very slim chance in November of any place in Michigan not having at least some sort of trace of snow. And in the last decade, we've had 3 or 4 of our snowiest Novembers. So that trend is kind of upward on snow, even as the falls turn warmer. Hey, thanks for joining me on the MLive Morning Weather Update brought to you by Consumers Energy. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. As always here on MLive, we will keep you updated on any severe weather or anything interesting you need to know about. So I'm going to get to it now, and I'll see you again tomorrow and Friday. Take care.